Okay, we're continuing with the book Hidden History of Health by me, Pete Rogers. We're talking now about Japan and Okinawa. So Japan is like mainland Japan. Okinawa is sort of like what Hawaii is to the United States. It's a separate island, ruled by Japan. And the people of Japan are famous for living long lives, and the ones in Okinawa live even longer. They had like 5 times as many centenarians as the USA, back when their diet was mostly sweet potatoes. The majority of their calories from sweet potatoes. They got lots of farmers. They walked a lot. Real close families and communities, sort of like a Rosetta effect, lowering their stress levels. They ate lots of greens. Their diet was in the ballpark of 80-10-10, meaning 80% carbohydrate, 10% fat, 10% protein. The average death for a male was about 78 years of age. For a woman, about 86 years old. That's good. Okay, now the people of Japan lived almost as long, but not quite. It's thought that the people of Japan didn't live quite as long because they were eating tons of salt. They were eating like 12 to 14 grams a day of sodium, and they also were smoking a lot of cigarettes like a chimney. Despite smoking like chimneys, they had relatively low rates of lung cancer, and that's thought because they ate such low-fat diets. The fat sticks the red blood cells together, causing tissue hypoxia, and that's thought to contribute to inducing a Warburg effect by inhibition of the inner mitochondrial membrane, leading to a cell to revert to almost anaerobic-like metabolism that pushes it into a growth phase. The bottom line is it increases the likelihood of transitioning to cancer metabolism when you eat the high-fat diets. A couple other interesting things about Japan. Dr. McDougall, you had pictures where he'd show the grandparents who were eating 90% of the calories from rice, skinny as a toothpick, and then the middle-aged ones, like when they moved to Hawaii or to California, the more they westernized their diet, the fatter and sicker they got. And he'd say the middle-aged, the parents would be a little bit chubby, and then the kids would be little fatsos because they'd been westernized in their diets. Also, Tetsumori Yamashima, MD, PhD from Japan, had been given the task, why in modern times are Japanese having such a increased rate of dementia? And he came to the conclusion it was primarily because they westernized their diet. They're eating a lot more fried food. And then that's the Tetsumori Yamashima Calpain-Cathepsin theory. And the bottom line is the oils lead to the production of toxic aldehydes like hydroxynonenal, and that damages your brain cells. I go into much more detail about it if you want to know all the details of theory in other lectures. But fried food is bad for you. You should never eat fried food. You should never have any oils, not one drop. All oils are toxic to arteries, including olive oil. And omega-3s are not good for you. Okay, they increase your risk of AFib, immune suppression. You don't want to eat them. Increase your risk of prostate cancer. Okay, let's see. A couple of American scientists went and studied the population of Okinawa. So actually Okinawa was even more precisely an 85-9-6 diet. Okay, so that's really, really high in carbohydrate. 85% carbohydrates, 9% of protein, and 6% from fat. And they tend to, somebody who eats that way, they're going to have the same body weight their whole life. I weigh the same that I did in high school. Right now, I'm in my 60s. Okinawa, average age of death, we talked about that. So they have a good health span, meaning that they're usually pretty much healthy up until the time they die. They had a lot of centenarians with zero health problems. You see these guys in their 80s doing push-ups over there, still working. Very low risk of cancer. So here's the book about Okinawa called the Okinawa Program. So Bradley Wilcox, MD, with his brother who's a PhD, and then a Japanese scientist, Makoto Suzuki, all studied the effect of the Okinawa diet and their lifestyle. They were included as one of the blue zones in the Dan Buettner National Geographic Series of Healthy Populations. Here's a paper by Craig Wilcox if you want to read about it, the Okinawa diet and its health implications. Prostate cancer, breast cancer was so rare in Okinawa, there was no point in screening for it. Prostate cancer was also so rare. Most Okinawa men never had heard of prostate cancer. And they didn't take supplements, they just ate their greens. All right, so anyways, that's it for this episode of Epidemiology, our discussion of the Japanese. And white rice, they would eat 85 to 90% of the calories from white rice. It is only 1% of calories from fat. The lower the percentage of calories from fat, the skinnier the population. And the rest they would get mostly from fruits and vegetables, and they'd eat a little bit of fish. So there it is. In the regular world, there's no entire population that's 100% vegan. But it's good to go in that direction about as far as you can. I'm 100% vegan, by the way. All right, I hope you found that helpful.